Right. Good morning. Welcome to the Elyria Planning Commission meeting for December 3rd, 2024. Call the meeting to order. Roll call, Mr. Aden, Mr. Battle, Mr. Hubbard. Here. Mr. Underko. Here. Director Podolsky. Here. Mayor Brubaker here. Mr. Tedrow. Here. Great, thank you. I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of November 5, 2025 as presented.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Hubbard.
Second.
Second by Mr. Underko. Any further questions, comments? All in favor signify by aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Miscellaneous correspondence to the Planning Commission. You were given by Ms. Tomsky the 2025 Planning Commission meeting dates, so please take note of that. There is no new business. There is no old business. There are no public hearings. Item number 8 on the agenda is Planning Commission cases. 2024-100169, LAD Sign and Lighting for Storage Rentals of America, 901 Leona Street, Elyria. Request a waiver of the design review guidelines for the replacement of signage. Is an applicant here to speak? Please come to the microphone and state your name and address for the record, please.
Linda Nichols, LAD Sign and Lighting, 3097 State Route 59 in Ravenna.
Okay, if you'd like to share your project here.
Started out, we surveyed the sign last summer. The sign is in very bad disrepair. I'm surprised that the sign is still standing. I don't know if you've seen photos of the base of these poles or not, but they're very, very corroded and rotted out. We suggested a replacement of the entire sign. May be able to reuse the cabinet. Because of the size of the sign, it's very expensive to do. I suggested cutting the poles at grade, digging a new foundation, putting a new pole in, and potentially welding the cabinet to the new poles.
Okay, thank you. Comments from staff. Building official Farkas.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, through you. No comments. The zoning was in compliance.
Thank you. Community Development, Ms. Scott.
The proposed signage is internally illuminated, and it has a white background, which is prohibited with the design review guidelines. So that is the waiver that is being requested. Approval of that waiver is recommended.
Thank you. Engineer Schneider.
Engineering has no comments.
Assistant Chief Gall.
No comment from Fire Department.
Great, thank you. Any questions or comments from the committee? Okay. Seeing none, at this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve Planning Commission Case 2024-100169, LAD Sign and Lighting for Storage Rentals of America, 901 Leona Street, Elyria. Is requesting a waiver of the design review guidelines for the replacement of signage. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Tedrow.
Second.
Second by Mr. Underko. Any further discussions? All in favor signify by aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Planning Commission case, next one is 2024-100170, Thailand LLC, 260 South Logan Street, Elyria, requesting for a final plat approval for the Windsor Place subdivision. Mr. Yost?
Bob Yost, representing Thailand, 260 South Logan. We have completed all our construction, our subdivision work, and we're here asking for final approval for that subdivision. John Schneider and I have talked about a couple issues that needed to be changed and identified on the plat per his request. Those are being worked on now. We will have those done probably in a couple days.
Great, thank you. Comments from the building official, Mr. Farkas?
Mr. Chair, through you. The proponent is requesting a final plat approval for the subdivision located at parcel 0625-029-106-063, consisting of 9.8342 acres of land with 62 sublots proposed. Recommendations. The request appears to adhere to the original subdivision zoning review. I recommend approval of the request contingent all requirements have been satisfied with the City Engineering Department. I will defer to the Engineering Department report for further recommendations. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Mr. Farkas. Community Development, Ms. Scott?
No additional comment.
Engineer Schneider?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Windsor Place is a private subdivision. The roads, retention ponds, storm sewers, sanitary sewers are all private and the responsibility of the homeowners association to maintain per the owner's certification and acceptance note on the proposed plat. The water main is also listed as being the responsibility of the homeowners association. This is one of the items that Mr. Yost was alluding to. When they first brought the subdivision to the city, it was recommended the city take ownership of the water. And in order for, one, we have all the experts. The water main is looped. In order for it to be a private water main, you would have to put hot boxes on both ends, backflow devices, things of that nature. With us being in the water business, it was always recommended that the city take ownership. So this is something that needs to be addressed on the plat. And there is a missing existing 20-foot sanitary force main easement that runs through the school property that needs to be shown on the map. These are the two items that Mr. Yost was once again alluding to. I am fine with Planning Commission approving the plat contingent that these items are addressed prior to sending it off to City Council for approval.
Great, thank you, Mr. Schneider. Assistant Chief Gall.
Fire Department has no comment. Thank you.
And for the record, I'd like to identify that Mr. Aden is joining us. Any questions or comments from the committee? Director Podolsky?
Mr. Yost, through you, Mr. Chair. I just want to know how many units are you planning back there, generally?
62.
62, all right.
Yeah.
I saw, it looks like maybe the first one or first couple there.
Yeah.
I noticed that when I was driving home the other day, I drove back on the side street there and took a look at it, and I'm excited to see it. It's an interesting space.
We actually have a list of 8 people that want to be there.
Wonderful. All right, thank you.
Yep, should go pretty quick, as long as God's good to us.
Any other questions from the committee? All right. I entertain a motion to approve with the conditions as applied by Mr. Schneider and agreed to by Mr. Yost. Planning Commission Case 2024-100170, Thailand LLC, 260 South Logan Street, Elyria, request for a final plat approval for Windsor Place subdivision. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Panowski, second by Mr. Tedrow. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. There are no summary reports, staff and commission reports. Anything from staff? Ms. Farkas, Ms. Scott, Ms. Schneider, Assistant Chief Gall. Okay, our next meeting is scheduled for January 7th. We did approve the minutes, yes. The next meeting, just to verify, we did approve the minutes, correct? I did do that at the beginning, didn't I? That's what I thought. Our next meeting is January 7th, 2025. For no further business before this commission, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Moved by Mr. Hubbard, second by Mr. Podolsky. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.